Here's part of the early morning staple in Chengde. Huh? No.
Sorry, no photos.
Yeah. Another form of early morning exercise right in the midst of the crowd. Look at that. If I were to try to do that with my knees, titanium would be all over the place. People would get killed. And these are middle-aged women, some of them. Okay, I've just entered into what's called the mountain resort down here at Li Zheng Gate, and I'll wander all about through here wherever I can go, ultimately going up here to the farthest gate, probably this one here, not the farthest, but this one here, and then I'll take a bus and go to the outer temples. So this is the entry area, nicely established. I don't know what the side area is, but I'll just record it. So where we are starting is right at the bottom where you see that small square, and it says Li Zheng Gate. And we're now in the main palace. And this is the main palace of Kangxi, his son, and Qinglong, his great-grandson. We'll take a look inside these buildings, which probably just house memorabilia and maybe interpretive information for the Chinese. So all the art in this room or building is the art form or craftsmanship form of hanging screens. The lighting is so terrible in here from the reflection on the glass of the exterior light that you can't, with or without a camera, you can hardly make out the images. This one may be something you can see. No, I can't get a good view from it. But it has an elephant and something on the elephant. But presumably these were made in some shishi wood. They were also a combination of enamel, ivory, as this appears to be, and even stone, and allegedly reflected the work of the greatest artists of their time. So this was not some kind of handicraft. This was emperor quality work. And you can see that here. If this is ivory, the carving of these trees is extremely intricate. And the figure is quite lifelike. Here the revered crane, of which I think there are something like 6 out of the 11 species in the world are in China, one endemic to China. This looks to be an enamel or even ivory, beautifully polished. That's some kind of stone perhaps. I can only use the camera to try to isolate patches that I can get without reflection. Here the colors are quite lively. Although a muted color, that lavender, and very beautiful. How lifelike is this bird? Certain birds have a characteristic of an upright tail, and this appears to capture it very well. I don't know if you can make any of this out with the camera, but it looks like intricately carved wood, very much like the room dividing screens. Some kind of elaborate scene in 3 dimension. Notice it's utilizing I think single point perspective. This building deals with clocks or time, chronography. Sundials and water clocks were a very early product of China. However, I think these kind of mechanical clocks, as we think of clocks, were an European innovation that was eventually copied, or at least emulated by the Chinese. My guess is that this is just another repository for the clocks that were received by the emperors from European nations paying homage. Here a clock with animated elements that looks very, very similar. In fact, I would say those figures are identical to another clock we saw at the Forbidden Palace in the clock collection. Elegant by themselves and magnificent by themselves, but understated, relevant to the huge collection of. This is apparently a receiving throne, if you will, for lack of a better term. I'm going to get in close as I can, see if we can look at those wooden carved panels. Up close, I imagine they're spectacularly exquisite, but I don't think we can get that close. Okay, so that looks like a mountain range, and then some kind of a structure, 3D portrayal. Now we'll switch to the left-hand panel. I think the Chinese would get tired of that constant prattle. Okay, now we've moved to the back of the palace. You can see it as I'm seeing it. Two covered walkways to the next building. You can well imagine this would be a very tranquil place. It wouldn't be the cacophonous tour guides. And notice the mindset of this transliteration, if it reflects the Chinese attitude towards plants and trees, which from the many that appear to have been turned into national monuments, it does. These may well be room heaters. They have that look about them. There's another wall hanging, which is interesting. It appears to be a mountain and lake scene with figures in probably carved ivory or some kind of stone like onyx or something like that. Onyx. Here's another intricate, I'm guessing, room heater. What we should try to take away from here is just the ambience of the place. So I'm going to shut up and pan. Here the columns provide a little bit more interest, or different interest. Here's some wall door sections. Simple. Here the trunk of an old tree that retains its designation label. Okay, this is interesting. It's an old carriage type thing of some sort, pulled by apparently 2 horses at least. Probably pulled one of the emperors. Some intricate work. It may be faded now on these panels. Again, you're not meant to see much.